I know this book was written a long time ago, but it's really hard to understand what they're saying. Like, it's like they wrote in a different language or something. So confusing. Broham the Wise here, slash Jeff, and today is my Gears of War 3 review. I know I told you guys I might do an Ontario video, but I've decided to stop promising stuff because I just always fail your expectations anyway. So yeah, Gears of War 3. The thing about Gears of War 3 is there really is no thing about Gears of War 3. I have a hard time complaining. That's because I've been a fan of Gears of War like since the first one came out, back when I was in grade 9, when I was like 15, before I really got into giant bloody M-rated video games. Gears of War was kind of like the first one I ever really played that was massive and epic. So I've been following the series all the way along. So Gears of War 3, it's not really anything new for me, but what it is a very, very satisfying conclusion to the trilogy. Gears of War 3 is just a very satisfying conclusion to the trilogy, which it maintains the gameplay that made it so popular in the first place, and also tells a very fitting final chapter in the story. I'm not going to focus too much on gameplay because the gameplay is largely unchanged from Gears of War 2. It's basically the same thing. There's a few new weapons which are kind of cool, but other than that, it's pretty similar. Like there's not a lot has changed. Basically, if you like Gears of War 1 and 2, you'll like this one. I personally, I absolutely loved what happened in Gears of War 3. I was actually a bit disappointed with the story in Gears of War 2 because it, it didn't really like worked very well as a cohesive kind of like story. Gears of War 3 doesn't really have this problem. Like everything that happens in the story kind of makes sense, and it flows just really well. Like, it just keeps you in the plot the entire time. It helps that they added a lot more cutscenes this time around, and there's a few more characters who kind of they're not really important, but they're there and they make it more interesting to watch. I don't want to say too much about about the story though. It's anything I want to talk about, but I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to spoil anything because this very much is the ending to like they might make more Gears of War game later. Like I don't know, but this very much is the ending to Gears of War. And one of my personal favorite things about Gears of War 3 is the multiplayer actually works this time. When the multiplayer just wouldn't work in Gears of War 2 when it first came out, it was one of the most frustrating things ever. Because when the first Gears of War came out, it was like what me and my friends did every day after school. We loved multiplayer in Gears of War 1. We played it non-stop. And then we were all excited for like the big epic Gears of War 2, like all these upgrades, all these changes, and we couldn't even really play it. Gears of War 3 has fixed that. For me, the multiplayer in Gears of War 3 is everything Gears of War 2 was supposed to be. I'll probably play multiplayer on that for a long time to come. If you've played the series before, I highly recommend it. If you've never touched Gears of War in your life, like you have no idea what's going on in Gears of War, I would say go back and play the first two, and then get Gears of War 3, because the whole series kind of works as a whole. It'd be hard to play the third one without having played the first two. Like it won't have the same impact on you. But yeah, that's my Gears of War 3 review. I might do. I'm playing Resident Evil 4 again now that I've beaten Gears of War 3, so that will probably dedicate most of my time. I don't know if I'll connect you guys for a review because it came out years ago. Just know you should just know Resident Evil 4 is good. Like I think that's a commonly accepted fact. That's a good game. I really don't know what I'm going to do next. Now that Gears of War is here, I have to wait for Mass Effect. Like there's a few games I want to play between now and then, but like in terms of like epic endings and stuff like that, I have to wait till Mass Effect now. Like 5 months away? No, 6 months away. Oh, it's 6 months away. I want Mass Effect now. Alright, well that's all for me today. So, Brohams Wise / Jeff out.